Good evening, everybody. എല്ലാവരും മനോഹരമായ പാട്ട് കേട്ട് ദൈവത്തെ സ്തുതിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് അധികം സമയം എടുക്കണമെന്ന് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നില്ല. I timed it to 10 minutes, but I'll break it in 5 minutes. It's definitely it's a great evening for all of us here today. So we are from different denominations and churches. So we are all getting an opportunity to come here together and worship the Lord. And at the same time, all the proceeds, 100% of it, will benefit somebody who is in dire need. So I wanted to acknowledge all of you are gathered here from all Boston area Malayali churches and the clergy members. When we approach the ministers of every church here, they all welcome us into their churches, give us opportunity to access their members, and we shared. And even though we had many, charity collections and all going on, you all-heartedly welcomed us. Thank you so much for coming in here today and supporting us. This program, തുടർന്ന് തന്നെ ഞങ്ങളിങ്ങനെ ഒരു സമ്മർ ഫണ്ട് റൈസ് പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് I happen to have a FaceTime communication with ബ്രദർ ബിനോയ്. അപ്പം ബ്രദർ ബിനോയിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ഞങ്ങൾ US വരുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഞാൻ ഇതിൻ്റെ സ്പോൺസർ ഗിൽബർട്ട് ജോർജുട്ടിയെ പരിചയപ്പെടാനിടയായതും ബോസ്റ്റണിലേക്ക് അവരെ ഇൻവൈറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. So I want to thank you, Mr. Jiji Varughese, Mr. Binoy Chako, Gilbert George, the sponsor, and all the talented musicians and singers here in this auditorium. Please give them a round of applause. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് താങ്ക്സ് പറയാനുള്ളത് എൻ്റെ ടീം മെമ്പേഴ്സ്. Dr. Fasina already shared us. So we are a relatively large group who are the organizers behind it. I'm one of them. So it's a large organization. We all take orders and directions from everybody. So and everyone, any one of you are interested in, I'm going to down one of my slides. I have all my team members listed in there. So we all worked together for past month and a half, 2 months to prepare for this event, and I really appreciate and thank all my team members, and including our team members. We have a lot of volunteers who helped us to approach each individual churches and their members. So thank you all volunteers. Kane and Nima members and officials supported us in promoting this event. Many of their officials are here, and I want to acknowledge their presence and I want to thank them. And Wayland High School Facilities Department, and I want to thank you for them. Shep is here, who is in charge of this auditorium and this and the custodian of this facility. He's here. I want to thank them. And the photos and videos for us. Paul is one of our members. He's helping us. I want to acknowledge that. And Javed Wahid provided us with a beautiful sound system for us, and I want to acknowledge that, along with Anian, who came with the troupe. Thank you. Now, the success of this program, major financial. Before we went into this deep decision of the discussion of this program, we had financial support and the commitment from our donors who directly sponsor our projects or events like this. They made this happen. All of these major sponsors that you can see on the screen, so they have wholeheartedly supported us. So they gave us donations worth more than $500. We really appreciate their efforts, and many of them they have their own charity organizations, and they play major roles in the community and other. Even then, when we say that we have gathered here having this occasion, or when they all heartily support us, thank you for that. And then we do have 40 sponsors for this this event. Thank you for your financial support. That is definitely a plus. We all are full-time workers. It's a volunteer-run organization. So when we have this type of an event, we have a major cost involved in that, and I appreciate your support in providing us the assistance here. And our team members listed are here on the screen. So we have a few new team members, including that, as Dr. Fasina said, we have 26 team members at this time. So I want to acknowledge, and every one of them worked really hard, and especially I wanted to appreciate Mr. Robin Sharvira. Actually, he is our mentor and motivator for this program. Actually, he was the one inspired us and asked us to have one of these events like this, and I really appreciate Robin Chan's directions to getting this done. Thank you, and thanks all of my team members. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes, although Fasina went through that, about this organization, right? So I started this in 2008 with Aju Johnson, who is also here, for our own charity donations we started. But when we started getting other people, when they hear about it, they expressed interest in us doing charity themselves, and we formed a non-profit. Actually, it was officially a non-profit from 2012 onwards. It's a public charity. So we had completed so far, we have 150 projects completed since it got 501c3 charity exception approval. So at this time, we have 34 completed in-flight projects in 2018. So our major focus area is it's a all-in-all charity organization. We support education projects, health and hospital care, hunger and homelessness, clothing and community, disaster relief, children, women empowerment, and seniors, citizen support, etc. This is a forum where you have a charity team. It's all about you and me, right? You bring in something. You do as part of your church, understand as part of your community, but this is an opportunity for you to help your own neighbor who is suffering, who you personally know, whether it's an individual or an organization. So we have done many successful projects like that. We have helped organizations. Only condition that we have is, right, so we need to have the transparency of fund transfer, where the money is going from the organization accounts to the beneficiary. Our process is simple. We have an intake form that is done. We list it for public fundraising on our website. About more than 50% of our projects are self-funded by the sponsors who want to do something, so they don't even come or ask for public donations. But when we started doing this, we had subsequent requests from the people around them. So that is the reason we started our first fundraiser in 2016, and that was an MG Srikumar show. So we did that, and last year we used that money all for the remaining projects. You can see in that 2017 summary of our projects, how did we do last year. We had about 40 plus projects sponsored. Total amount funded was about 45,000. So last year we had 15 students. We conducted volunteer initiatives. So we had community and group support projects. We had about 10 house building and medical and family support projects done. From our last fundraising financial data, this is one of the questions that we heard from some of you, that how did we spend our proceeds from our last concert. We wanted to be very transparent with every donor that we have. Like usually whatever we give, if you raise $1,000, that definitely directly goes to the beneficiary that you choose, and we don't keep anything, and we share the administrative costs. But from the public fundraising, we use the money. We had 15 beneficiary students that we sponsored for a year. So we sponsored an SOS village in Alva, Kerala. We sponsored one group home. Dr. Fasina mentioned how the SOS International works. So they have different homes in a village. So we sponsored one children's home for a year, and including like 12 children and one mother. Our kids wanted to donate a Christmas gift this Christmas to the children of Alva SOS village. So that is why they are running the snack bar outside, if you have seen that. And many of you participate, purchase snacks from there. They still have some leftover. So if you are interested to take some home cooked snack, please pack it home. And that way, they can also fulfill that dream in providing. What they are planning to do is not any toy or anything. We are providing them with one pair of good clothing for Christmas. So they get two clothes in it for a year. One is their school uniform, and one is the second one is the regular clothes. So for an orphanage like that, and giving a gift for Christmas will be a big thing. So we have this. We supported from the. We had one client that we supported for Refugee Immigration Ministry. It's a Malden-based organization. So we supported their Metro West cluster, providing them with about 4 or 5 months of rent for one client. That client was actually, she was a sexual abuse and victim from South America. She had acid burns all over her face, and she just got asylum sanctioned in the United States. So it's a very happy news that I want to share. But Compassionate Hearts helped them their housing costs for about 4 months. Part of their costs were covered by CH. We are planning to keep some of the money that we are collecting from this concert also to go to RIM as part of to support them. And actually the dinner booth that we are running outside, it's only $5 a meal. All of the proceeds will benefit RIM. Then in 2017 we did multiple house construction projects. We did, as I said earlier, student sponsorships. So this year, so we have, as of now, this time, we have 27 ongoing student sponsorships. So we wanted to expand it more to whatever available funds we have. Then as I mentioned, we do have local community support projects. So from these proceeds, about 1/3 of our proceeds will go to Kerala flood relief victims. We have, so far we have requests from 4 individuals who partly lost their homes and need repair. That is from Idukki region, so we want to support them as much as we can. Then another thing that I wanted to mention, that we want to sponsor 2 nurses for 1 year for a palliative care volunteer group that is operating in Tiruvalla, Kerala. That is actually, that organization was introduced to us by Dr. Matthew Thomas Jindo, who is here. He's one of my very good friends. They go and visit these cancer patients and other terminally ill patients every week, taking 1 day off from their work on a Friday. So at this time they have a medical van and 2 or 3 nurses for part-time. So we wanted to sponsor 2 nurses for 1 full year. So I wanted to acknowledge all of your support, all of your ticket purchases, whether it's small or big, that made it happen. Thank you. I already mentioned that we will be supporting the flood relief victims. Our goal is to support at least 10 projects, 10 flood relief projects. So if you have a nominee, please do let us know. If we wanted to take the nominations, so it's on our website also. If your neighbor or somebody that you know personally is suffering from the flood and aftermath, so we might be able to help. So please do let us know. I wanted to share some of our sample projects, and this is a we do every year ask for your donations, public donations for a backpack drive. We've been doing that from 2014, and this is the 5th year we sponsored backpack for about 150 tribal kids of Idiki. So we have a volunteer team there. There's a video, if I have time, if you allow me I can play it, but I don't think I'm going to take that time. His name is Brother Jacob Ali, and he has at least 10 volunteers that work with him. They go and visit these tribal families and take care of their needs. So we have done at least 14 projects for them in different, and this backpack project is every year happening. For a $25 donation, we'll supply with them with whatever they need for one school year, and they get additional donations. So every year they give 300 kids with their whatever needs, whether it's clothing or school supplies. So we sponsor at least 50% of that initiative. Few of the other sample projects. So we were able to be the focal point or intermediary for Maripacha old age home last year. We had 4 housing projects completed last year. And this year also, we had 2 sample projects I can see. One of our member, Grace Bullock, had a home building project, and that was a $10,000 project. And we have the flood relief victim projects. We already collected and donated $10,000. It's our budget is like $25,000 for that. Dr. Fazina Ashraf is the one leading that project. And from this program, part of the benefits will go to that project as well. Thank you again. I had some more testimonials, and I'm going to put that on our website since the time is running out. I'm not going to take more time. Thank you again. Please do think about this organization if you're looking for an open forum, and appreciate your thanks, and hope we can count on you for events like this, for projects when we'll be approaching you. One commitment that we have is that we don't keep anything. Like each of our members one thing that we do is, before we ask you, we pitch into our pockets, and then we do internal fundraising within the team as much as we can. Then only we ask others. So please do consider that. A penny of your, not even a penny, will be wasted. So thank you again for your support. Have a good evening.